Hi guys, and welcome to another WordPress Divi theme tutorial. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Divi in itself is a fantastic theme. It just keeps getting better and better. I've designed so many sites with it over the years, it's just crazy. And if you're building any sort of WordPress site at all, I do suggest you take a look at it. You can take it for a test drive from my affiliate link below this video. Today, we're going to be using a free plugin, and the plugin's called Divi Supreme Modules. And if you go to your dashboard, to your plugins, just simply hit Add New and put the word Supreme in there and hit Enter. It'll come up right there, Divi Supreme Modules. And like I say, it's free. Mine's already active because I've got it installed on this site. But that's the plugin we'll be using for this video. Okay, I've got a couple of side menus here. One straight out of the box from our Divi Supreme plugin. And it's great. Really easy to build. Handy little feature to have on the side of your page. Or anywhere on your page, doesn't have to be on the side. And the other one is similar, but I've just added a bit of custom CSS just to add a slight bit of interest to it. If you want to. So there's straight out of the box, no coding. Here's one just with a little bit of extra coding to add a bit more interest value. So let's go ahead and create these. So first thing I'm going to do is enable our visual builder. Scroll on down to where we want to put them. What I'll do is I'll just delete what we've got here and recreate them. I've got a row here with a sort of quarter, 3/4, or third and 2/3, however you want to look at it. So I'm going to just delete these modules and I'll recreate them. Okay, so just click on our little plus button there. Scroll on down, and the one we want is Supreme Menu. Like I say, it doesn't have to be a side menu, that's just what I happen to make mine. And I haven't even got a menu created for this site, so it's just grabbed the default, which is these little items there. And I'm just going to call it side menu. Don't have to have a title if you don't want to. And here's where, if you had menus created in your dashboard, you could select what menu you wanted, but I haven't, so it's just doing the default of what we got. Okay, I'll give it a background color. I'm just going to run through this quite quickly. I'm just going to use a simple blue color. Okay, and things have disappeared in there, so let's go to our design and bring them back. First thing we want to do is the title text. I'm going to make that white so we can see it. I'm going to align it in the middle. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. Actually, a bit of a gap on the bottom there. Text size is what I want actually. Here we go. That's fine. And I'll add some padding in just a moment. For our regular menu text, again, I'm going to make that white. I'm going to have it capitalized, I think. Shall I make it white before? I should have made it white before I did that so you can see what was going on. Let's go up, get the color, make it white. There you can see it. Now I'm going to hit 2 T's there, 2 capital T's to capitalize it. And line height, I'm going to bring that up a bit so they're spaced out a bit more. There we go. And also I'm going to bring that text size up so it's a bit larger as well. Doesn't matter, it's entirely up to you. So at least we can see what's going on there. Now I'm going to go to the spacing. I'm just going to add a bit of padding around the outside so it's not squashed up against the top and the sides there. So padding, I'm just going to give it 25 pixels all round. Just put one value in, hit the link, it'll do top and bottom. Same thing for left and right. There we go. Now what I want to do is our menu text, let's give it a different color on hover. And to do that, where it says menu link color, with most modules in the Divi theme, you've got this. It's a little arrow there. That'll enable you to do a different CSS on hover. So I'm just going to say I want it green on hover. Now if we flip on one of those, you can see it's turning green. Or whatever color you decide. Okay, the only other thing I want to do there perhaps is menu style. Now you can add little sort of list items to the front. At the moment, there should actually be some. Yes, there is. You can faintly see some little discs at the side there. Now if I go to just the text color and change that color to light, you should be able to see those a bit easier. There we go. They're just like little bullet points. So you've got disk, you've got circle, you've got decimal, puts in the numbers obviously, and you've got little squares. I'm going to stick to the little discs, which is fine. So we're pretty much there with that little menu. The only other thing I want is perhaps give it a bit of box shadow. There we go. Save that. That's a nice looking little side menu that's quite handy. Like I say, those things highlight when you hover over the links, which is fantastic. But I just wanted to make mine slightly more interesting. Like I say, out of the box, this is fine. But if you just want to go one step further, let's just duplicate this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save. I'm going to go down to my purple button, hit save. Wait till the check mark comes up. And exit the Visual Builder. Now I'm using Google Chrome browser here because it's got its great inspector tools. I think Firefox has some great ones too, but this is my browser of choice. That's what we're using today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this and go down to Inspect and open up the Chrome Inspector. On the bottom panel here, I'm on the Elements tab, which will give me HTML. And on this side, I'm on the Styles tab, which will give me CSS. Yours may be up the side. You can change your position of it with these three little dots here doing that. But as long as you're on the Styles, you've got the CSS, and Elements, you've got the HTML. Now what I want to do, let's roll up so we can see the one we're working on, is I want to have a background color change. When I hover over this one, I want it to change slightly to a lighter colored blue so it stands out. So if we just roll up our list here, or in fact let's just highlight this one, right click and inspect on it. That's the actual anchor tag. That's not what I want because I don't know if you can see that, but it's highlighting just around the home, whereas if I push up, it's highlighting the list item. Now that little block, I kind of almost want to do exactly what it's doing there, which is to be a slightly lighter blue. So I know that's the list item. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just write something in here. So I'm going to select the list item, go to Element Style. I'm going to say background color. I'll start off with white because I can change it in a minute, which is FFF. It's actually 6 Fs, but with CSS3, you only need to put 3 in. As you can see, it's changed that to white. Now white I don't actually want. I want it to be a sort of light blue. So if I click on this little white box here, which is the color box, I can go to the color picker, toggle the color picker on, grab this blue color. Now what I want to do is I want to just roll it up a little bit so we've got a little bit of difference there. Something like that. Something fairly subtle but yet discernible. That'll do right there. Now I'll copy this hex code, Control C. It's already put it in there for us, which is great. Okay, now I can see that that's got that little bullet point a little too far over. I don't want it touching that. I want it over sort of here. So I'm going to put some padding on the left-hand side. Padding left. We'll say 25 pixels. There we go, that's more like it. Fantastic. And also, I kind of like, on that last one, I had a little border left and right of a couple of pixels. So I'm going to say border left, left, 2 pixels, solid, there it is. And I want one on the right hand side as well. And exactly the same, 2 pixels, solid, white. There we go, that's exactly what I want right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this, Control C, and I'm going to copy it into a notepad. I'll just put it into a little notepad here so I've got it for later. I'm going to close that out. Now we know this is the list item and we know it's in this element. So I need to give this element a class so we can target this class and the list item element, because I only want this to happen on the hover. And when you do this in Google Chrome, of course it's non-destructive. So when you refresh, it goes back to how it was. There we are, you see it's gone back to how it was. Okay, let's just open the Visual Builder. Go back down to where we were. This one. Hit the little cog to edit it. I'm going to go over to Advanced and I'm going to give it a CSS class, CSS ID and classes. I'm going to give it a class, not an ID, a class sidem. So what we'll be able to do, we'll be able to say .sidem to target this thing, and then li because it's list item. If I save that, and I'll just show you in the Chrome Explorer. Open the inspector, and this time if we look at our module, which is this right here, we roll along, there's that class we've given it, sidem. So we need to target sidem and its list item, which is, as you can see, hovering there. So you can either put this on the page CSS, but if you're going to use it in other places, seeing as it's a menu, you might want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the theme custom CSS. So if you go to the dashboard, down to Divi, to theme options, right at the bottom here is a custom CSS. We're on the general tab. If I slide up to the top, on the general tab, and I'll just put in a new entry. I've actually got the one above it that I've just done earlier, and we'll put a title in there, which is // I would say blue side menu. That way, if you've got a lot of CSS code, putting a little title in like that Makes it so much easier to find. Okay, so if we go down, now we called that class was sidem, wasn't it? So it's a class, dot, always a dot when it's a class. Side, S-I-D-E-M. And we wanted to target the list item, which is li. Open and close some curly brackets, and inside there we want to paste our code. That we copied from our browser, the stuff that I put in this little text pad here. Now just paste that in there. There we go. Now at the moment, that's going to affect it all the time. So if I save this, I'll show you. And we only want it to be affected perhaps when it's on hover. And I'll refresh this. Now you can see all of those are highlighted. And it's not really what I wanted. I really only wanted it to do it when we're on hover. And that's really easy to change. Let's go back in there. And I'm going to copy this. Instead of just putting hover after this, I'm going to copy this and I'll show you why in a moment. So I've copied it, Control C, drop down, Control V to paste. Now I'm going to put colon with no space after the li and no space after the colon, hover. That way it'll just do this on the hover. What I'm going to do is I'm going to comment out this bit of CSS right here, / star, and where I want it to stop commenting out, where I want the browser to start reading it again, star / So we've now got that on hover, and you'll see in a second why I've done this. Okay, let's go back to our site. Now when I refresh, it should go back to how it was like that. There we go. Now when I hover over it, they're going to change. There we go. But what it's actually doing, it's sort of jumping to the right because we've just got padding on this for when we hover. If you see it's jumping, if you wanted to do that, that's absolutely fine. But I don't particularly. I want it to be in this position all the time, but just have this hover effect when I hover on it. So if we go back to our theme options, I'm going to take these comments away. Don't knock off your dot there or else it won't work. And don't knock off your closing curly brackets. Right, background color, we can take that away. Padding left, 25 pixels. That's the one I want to keep because I want it to be in that position. Border left, we don't want it to have a colored border. But if I put transparent in there, it'll have a border, but you won't be able to see it. And what that means is, I'm just copying this to put below here. What that means is it will still be taking up that real estate. So when we hover over it, it won't sort of glitch over a little bit because it's adding 2 pixels there. It's already got it, but you just can't see it, if that makes sense at all. So let's just save this. Back to the site, refresh. Shouldn't see any changes. Now when I hover over it, you've got that nice hover effect. Those aren't jumping over. And you've still got that green when you actually hover on the link itself. So that's great. It's happening kind of instant. The only other thing I might slightly want to do is just slow that transition effect down a little bit. So let's just quickly do that and we're done. And all I'm going to do is add on the non-hover part is transition, duration. Now let's say, I don't know, 3/4 of a second, 0.75, 0.75 second. Finish with a semicolon. Save that. Now when I hover over it, it should take 0.75 seconds to do that. We may want to add an ease or something like that. There we go. It's not happening quite so instantly, you see? And when you let go, it sort of just fades out instead of just gone. That's how to add a great side menu. Like I say, straight out of the box, build that one. If you just want to make it slightly more interesting, add an easy bit of custom CSS. And I'll put this CSS under the video just in case you want to use it. There you go. So there you have it. Using the Divi Supreme Modules plugin. It's free, so why not use it? I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're interested in web development, take a look down below. We've got some great free courses down there. We've also got some premium courses with some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers, so do take a look. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.